have our family reunion, and so we are headed down to Branson, Missouri. And to get some extra cousin time, the kids and I are headed out a day early because Steve has to work. So we are going to have 2 EVs down in Branson, Missouri. And if you've ever been to Branson, Missouri, you know that Branson does not have good charging. So it could get interesting. And also charging on the way to, or on the way back with 2 EVs, charging stops at the same time. We're going to see how that all goes. So, yeah, the kids and I are headed down right now, and it could be a little bit of a strain on the battery, so we will see. Just because there is excessive heat warnings, it's like in the 90s with high humidity. It feels like it's like 110. It's hot out right now, and I think we're gonna have that chasing us all the way down to Branson. So we'll see how that goes. I think it'll be fine. Since we're not towing or anything, we're staying in a little cabin down there, so we don't have the camper with us. So we're going to try to make it to Kansas City on a single charge in the R1S, and then we'll hopefully stop and charge in like Springfield just to get a little bit of a boost, since there's not really any good charging in Branson. So we'll be charging on the 110 outlet at our cabin, and that's kind of all we charge on when we're down there. So we will see how it all goes with 2 EVs there. But for now, let's head to Kansas City. It's the S. Okay. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we got done. We got up to 88%, and we are gonna get on the road here. Yeah, it's steaming hot. So let's go. So I didn't talk too much at that last charging stop. When we pulled up, there was a lady like in the parking spot for the charger, and she was on her phone, and then she like got back in her car and wasn't charging. So I was a little confused when we pulled up, and then she said she pulled in and she didn't have one where her charge port could reach that was usable at the moment. And so I was able to, I was parked behind the charger, and so I was able to charge from the spot that was behind the charger. So I plugged in and charged, and got really good charging, actually. We were getting 211 kilowatts on the EV Go at Oak Park Mall, and we charged up, and officially, if there is one of us, we cannot be back in the car by the time we need to get going. We were up to 88% by the time we left, and I was trying to keep everybody moving, but that's just the way it goes with 3 kids and trying to get them some food and all that kind of stuff. So, but we are back on the road, and we've got about 153 miles to go until our next charge stop. And the only reason we need to charge is because of the lack of charging in Branson. So I'm gonna go down to Springfield, get a good, pretty decent charge. So I'll have to sit there for a little bit, and then we'll go on down to Branson so that we have a charge when we get there, since we're only going to have wall charging. So, but hopefully the rest of the trip goes smooth. There was a backup on 435, but I don't think it set us back too much. There's a big, looks like a truck caught on fire. So we have a little bit low range right now, but I'm pretty sure we're getting back up to that 2 miles per kilowatt hour now that we're on, like, moving. So on we go. Man, that thing needs a bath. Well, this was a good little charge. We like jumped out real fast and ran to the Starbucks after we got it charging because we had to go potty. But we jumped up, we got up to 150 kilowatts is what we got to. So We got a quick charge. We're already up. We were at 75%, so we're probably at 76, 77% now. There's a Starbucks right behind me, so everybody's happy they got a Starbucks.
I love Starbucks.
We have about,
especially my dragon fruit refresher.
we have about 45 minutes, 45 miles and about 45 minutes left to go to get there. So we're gonna get this thing unplugged and hit the road. It'd be easier if you guys didn't bring so much junk. I think you have like a whole bedroom full of stuff back there with you.
Yeah, she does. We had to bring our missing brothers. It's the family reunion. Yes.
All right, let's see what we can do here. There, we're at 78%. Been here for 35 minutes. 82, we're charging it still 85 kilowatts, so it's really doing pretty good. It's delivered 71 kilowatts. So I guess we'll call, well, we're at 79. I feel like we have to wait till 80% since we're at 79. One of the things that I've noticed being like solo with the kids is that it's just a little more difficult because I have to worry about the car charging. I have to worry about the kids and what they need, but it's gone actually really very smoothly today. The charging has been great. It's been plug in, it's been go, and it's gotten high rates all day long. So maybe Steve's the bad luck and I'm the one that needs to be plugging in the chargers. But we are still at 85 kilowatts, so it's kind of hard to want to unplug it and go on when we're still getting that 85. But when I get to 80%, there it is, 80%, so let's go. The little thing wouldn't come out. Like I was pushing the button to get it to come out, but it was like not going. And then finally I like did, out of frustration, did it really hard. And I released the button, so let's go. So in Branson, with the lack of charging, you have to ABC, always be charging. So we're here at a J1772 and we're gonna charge like while we're eating and hanging out for dinner and stuff. So I better get it up and going. Gotta love free charging. All right.
Just getting out of work here. Now, I'm gonna see what this thing does on a over 400-mile road trip. Let's get going. What we're doing, or what I'm doing, is headed from work to Branson, Missouri. Lincoln, Nebraska to Branson, Missouri. First longer trip in the Hummer EV. And we're really gonna see what this thing does on a road trip where we have to charge a couple times to get there. And it'll be very interesting because this thing has such a large battery pack. It'll be, you know, interesting if we have to charge for longer periods of time, you know, especially if the chargers don't end up working very well, what that looks like. You know, because if it only charges at 50 or 75 kilowatts, it'll not be pleasant. You'll be sitting there for hours, which is the problem currently with the state of charging right now. But so I'm gonna get everything punched in here. It should be over 400 miles today. Should be 2 charging stops because once we get to Branson, there really isn't ample charging there, and you want to make sure you have enough charge to actually get around town. And then once you leave, make sure that you can get back to a charger. So we'll talk all about that as we get into it, but let me get situated and we'll get on the road. So we're roughly starting with 97%. We have it dialed in to our first charging station. We're gonna head to the EV Go in Olathe, Kansas, which is outside of Kansas City, just a tad bit. And it says we'll end with 25%. My guess is, since it's 196 miles and we'll be doing anywhere from 75 to 80 miles an hour, that's probably pretty accurate where we'll land, just depending upon, you know, where the wind sets and stuff like that. Maybe it'll be 20%, but let's see what happens. But we're just getting on the road here, and yeah, I'm gonna utilize Super Cruise most of the way, hopefully. But that's what I like about this vehicle is Super Cruise works really well. You don't have to touch it. And yeah, it's super nice, if you ask me. So battery preconditioning has started, and we are, I think, about 40 miles out. Okay, close to 50 miles out. So it thinks that it can precondition in 42 minutes. Lots of traffic. Well, we just rolled up to EV Go here. We are in Olathe, Kansas. Yes, washer fluid is low because of all the bug guts. So let's go get her plugged in. This should be plug and charge, so let's see. This freaking truck is so big, it's pretty much the most difficult thing to get going here, but I'm gonna plug in this. No, I better do the other side. It's supposed to be plug and charge, so doesn't really appear like that. Alright, well, it seems like I'm gonna have to get on my phone and authorize charging. It's supposed to be plug and charge, but not working currently.
So we have really enjoyed using the Flow app whenever we have the chance because it is just so easy to use. And we want to thank Flow Chargers for being the sponsor of this video. And we're going to show you how we would find a charger using the Flow app because it's super simple. So we go in and we can find what's on the network. We can filter it by DC fast charger, what's available, if it's directly a Flow charger, and specifically for the EV that you are using. It looks like we have our R1S marked in the corner up there and we're in the Hummer, but that's okay because they take the same type of charging. So then we can go in, select the charger that we want, click on it, and we can start the charge right from there. We can get directions right from within the app. And one of the other things that we really like about it is that it gives you instructions on how to use the charger and even gives you a spot to go in if you need assistance. So if you're having problems, you can click on that and kind of see some things that you can try if you are having trouble to get it up and going and working correctly. We can also star chargers so that they are in our favorites so we can find them easily if we use them for if we use those a lot. And the other thing is that we can have funds right here within the Flow app so that we don't have to load a whole bunch of money onto a whole bunch of different accounts to use different types of chargers. So, you know, you don't have to have the Flow charger and then the ChargePoint app and then all these. You can do it all straight from the Flow app. So everything's all in one place, which makes it super easy and super convenient, and we really love it. We'll put a link down in the description below for this app. So if you want to get it for yourself, you can get it easily.
All right, second hook up to this one, and it is starting to work here. So it is on the 800 volt part of the battery pack, so we should be getting, oh yeah, really good speed there. All right, maxed her out. So we'll see how long this stays there at that 340, almost 500 amps that we're getting. We ended with 27%, and we were getting about 1.3 to 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour. So I'm gonna have to get our next spot picked up here. 1.3 looks like. I didn't reset that for like 6 miles, so that was a little over 200 miles is what I went, but okay. So next spot that we're gonna have to go is to Springfield, Missouri. This is how I do it. It's probably not the right way, but to find charging. Yes, I'm already there. So Springfield is down here. And they have added some chargers in Springfield, some that actually go to about 150, 160. So that's the one that I'm looking for, and it's that one. So we're gonna go about 175 miles. We ended with 27%. So I think I'll probably at least obviously want 75% because we'll be going about similar speed. But so that's what we'll charge up to here, because I'm sure it'll be below the 180, 160 that we should get at that EV Connect charging station there. So I'll go up to roughly 70-75% and then take off. Once I pressed start, it told us that we should at least charge up to 78%. That's pretty accurate. I think if we did that, we'd end with, like, you know, anywhere from 10 to 15%. So maybe I'll leave with 70%. That sounds about right. I mean, that's a crazy thing. Even with a large battery pack, 27 to 36%, so 9% only took about 4 minutes. I mean, so 10% in less than 5 minutes is what I'm assuming is going to happen. That's pretty dang good, but we got to sustain that high charge rate. Yeah, still going at 285. Look at that. 30% in 13 minutes. That's pretty good for a large battery. So look at that. That thing's real dramatic. About 58% drop below 100, and it's went clear down there. I'll be curious to see what happens if it just goes all the way to 0 and I have to restart. At that point, I don't really know if it's the handle. I mean, it's pretty hot. Or if it's the vehicle getting too hot. Because this vehicle doesn't really tell us much at all. But yeah, 16 kilowatts, it's going to shut off. This is the thing about the Hummer. It's like all over the place. There's no real clear charging curve. So I can't tell you if it's the vehicle or if it's the charger. My guess would be it's the charger, because this handle is just blazing hot. I mean, I can keep it on there, but yeah, I'm gonna stop it. So and then I'm just gonna hook the other handle up once it's done. So went on for 17 minutes, got close to 74 kilowatts. So plug-in charge is obviously working now. Car beep says it's charging. See, now it's running on the 400 volt system. So obviously slowly ramping amps up, but I don't know. Not sure if that's a car or if that's the charger, but kind of looks like it's the charger. I mean, it might be the car, because I got on the car, turned it on, turned the AC on, and this amps jumped back down, so I don't know. It's so hard to freaking tell with this vehicle. Has no consistent charging curve. Anybody that's had one for a while has said the same thing, so. But that's obviously very unacceptable. I just need 10% more. That's all I need. I am very confused because it was down to 30 kilowatts and I had the air conditioner on in the truck, and then immediately when I shut it off, it jumped up the amps and the kilowatts to about 120, and it's slowly creeping up. So either it's a coincidence or this vehicle heavily relies on its air conditioning to cool down the batteries or something, because one thing I've also noticed is that when you are preconditioning, we've mentioned this on a prior video, it takes away your air conditioning, so you have less of that. Anyways, glad it's back up to 150. I might turn the air conditioner on in a little bit here and see if it jumps it back down or what happens. But let's actually just go do that. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, see, once I kicked the air conditioner on, it jumped it way down to 30 kilowatts. Okay, so it says turning off, feature may help. So let's turn this off. So like, I understand it helping, but honestly, that much of a difference, like, goes down to 30 kilowatts versus 150 or whatever it was doing before. Now it's, wow. Interesting. So I guess, Hummer EV, you gotta stay out of the vehicle. You can't hang out in it or turn the air conditioner on, or it doesn't like you. Because I mean, that's still a pretty good charge rate into 60%. And the thing is, it's 102 degrees. Okay, well, at least now I know that. It's up to 180. Okay, so we're pulling it. I turned the air conditioner back on, but it was down to 120, and next charger should get us 180. Been here 14 minutes. Last one was like 17 minutes. So we've probably been here 40, 45 minutes, unfortunately, with the, you know, plugging, unplugging, all that stuff. So, all right, let's get her stopped and get out of here. All right, let's get going. So we got it plugged in here. It says we're gonna end with 2%. That could be pretty accurate. Let's get our trip reset here. All right, let's hit the road. 173 miles we gotta go. Got it up to 70%. So how I figure that out is I take 210 battery pack, usable battery pack, which I know it's like 213 or 214, but just give myself a tiny buffer. And I take that times 0.7, so 70% of your battery pack, and it comes out to like 147, I think it was. And so then I take 173 divided by 147, and it roughly hits 1.2. So we just keep an eye on the trip odometer and make sure that we get at least 1.2, which on this trip we should get similar to what we got before at 1.3. But you never know. Wind can change, all that stuff can change. Let's get down the road. All right, here is the charger. I don't know why that's blue, I guess, versus green. So I'm going to, I have the EV Connect app, but I'm actually gonna try to use ChargePoint because I think you can use that. I don't know what the difference is between these two. I don't really say. 300 amps. 200 amps, so I would imagine this one is a little bit less. It doesn't really say from what I can see, versus this one. So I can get it going. All right, got started on plug share. The car has not beeped yet or anything like that. All right, ramping up already. 180, that's pretty good. So this time, if I have the air conditioner going, it's at 160. So let's shut it off and see what happens. At least it wasn't as dramatic as the 30 kilowatts versus 180. But anyways, I think I'm gonna go there. All right, so we're sitting here at the charger. It's getting 180 kilowatts. Only need like 17%, but to get to Branson. But the problem is Branson doesn't really have any sort of good infrastructure for charging, like DC fast charging. It's got, you know, your 6 to 8 kilowatt chargers, which I don't really want to be attached to those all the time. So I'm actually gonna charge up a little bit more than that. I'm not sure to what, but I want to be able to get there and at least back to this charger when I leave in a couple days. So I'll have to figure that out. All right, still cranking along here at 174 kilowatts. I'm gonna go ahead and get this baby unplugged. I don't really have enough to make it back here, but I'll just have to leave it in Branson, unfortunately, at a place to charge up maybe overnight, since it is a large battery pack. But I don't want to sit here any longer. I want to meet my family for some supper. All right, let's get going. 3 kilowatts. So we ended up getting 63 kilowatts. Charged $28, which I'm not used to paying that much for charging, but I have enough charge to get into Branson and gonna head to Branson Landing, get a bite to eat with my family, and I'll just charge into one of those 30 amp, like 6 point whatever chargers, and you know, just charge there, and then probably just, like I said earlier, I have to leave it overnight, either at Tanger Outlets or something like that. That's kind of the problem with going to a place like Branson. They don't have any DC fast charging. They do have some in the ground. They just do not have them commissioned, turned on yet. So when they do that, it will be much easier for that. And the place we're staying does not have charging. My mom sets this up for us. Thank you, Mom. But she sets it up, and it's just like a wall outlet that we have to plug into. So you're not really gonna put much of a dent into this vehicle. But yeah, I'll update you on trip and all that stuff once I get there. But then I'm gonna duck out and go get a bite to eat. Okay, so we got here 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. The whole trip was 410 miles at 1.4 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm gonna plug into this charge point slow charger at like 6 kilowatts. The one that was 48 amps was gonna be a little bit. Somebody was charging there, so I'm just gonna charge here. So I'll get this started, but I appreciate you guys following along. And if you like adventures, follow us. And then also we have an EV+RV rally coming up in October. Make sure that you look into that. Go to All Electric Family and look at the Charged Rally tab. And if you find any interest in that, definitely sign up for it. And we'd love to have you guys. All right, see ya.